Everybody, and welcome to another live. I'm so sorry I'm a little bit late. I was trying to get everything set up. I made a massive mess and it all just went wrong. But you know, here we are, we've got a different setting. I thought we'd go retro. I thought we'd go back to those of you that have been around the channel for a while. Let me know, leave me a comment and let me know when we used to do all of our filming on this very sofa, surrounded by, I think it was the same cushions, but basically just sofa life. So I thought we'd go retro and we'd try something a little bit different and we go back to the way that, you know, filming used to be when I was sat on the floor with my camera trying to film, not with any great success. So how is everyone today? How is everyone's Saturday? What's going on? Is everyone fantastic? I see we have already got so many questions in. So what we'll do, we'll go through, we'll do a little bit of a hello, welcome, we'll do all of that introductions and everything, and we'll see what everyone's been up to, and then I'll get into your questions. Before we get going, we do the usual thing on this channel where I go through the comments in the order in which they came in, so don't worry, I promise I'll get through to you. And if for whatever reason I don't get around to your comment or I miss you out or whatever, just drop it in the comment section and I promise I'll get back to you. So let's start. Oh, and I also want to give a big thank you as well to Tom, who is very kindly moderating this chat for me as always, which is really a welcome, because it just takes a whole lot of pressure off me. So I'll get through to more of your comments. So let's start, let's get cracking and let's go. So how is everyone today? What's everyone been up to? How's everyone's week been? And all of that good stuff. For me, it's been a busy week. What have I done this week? You know when you get to the end of the week and you think, it's been busy, and I can't honestly tell you why. I think I did quite a bit of filming. There was a whole host of things that I wanted to film, and I kind of felt really inspired at the start of the week to do like loads of different bits of content. So I did some filming on that. I had some very exciting meetings around the product launch and some of the bits and bobs with that. We've got I'll be giving a very exciting update on some merch that we're going to do a tie with some charity stuff. I'll announce that later in the video. And yeah, just basically, it's been a very busy week, but all in a good way. So let's start with some welcomes. Marlene, welcome. I promised Marlene, just as a top side note, I promised Marlene in homage to Eurovision, which was 2 weeks ago now, and our favourite entry, which me and Marlene basically just adored, Estonia, and he looked super dapper in his suit and all of that. I promised Marlene I would dress up for the live. We'd go full dinner jacket. Could I find my bow tie? Could I not? When I said to my gran, I was coming on here and I said to my gran, like, honestly, can't find my bow tie. I retraced my steps and I last had it when I was on a Caribbean cruise, and I'm really stressed because I can't find it. And my gran looked at me, she went, that is so hellishly middle class, get a grip. I was like, yeah, okay, fine. So I was officially read to filth by my grandmother, which I totally agree with. So I'm still working on that and I will find it, or I'll just have to buy another. So Marlene, welcome my love. Emily, so fantastic to see you. Emily, fantastic. I send you lots of love to Vancouver. We always have a very good Canadian contingent, so I'm sending lots of love to everyone watching in Canada. Ivan, wonderful to see you. DM13. Can I just say, I always get sidetracked, but I'm going to get sidetracked because Danny, aka DM13, like a code name, uploaded her skincare routine onto the Facebook group today. Honestly, I was gagged with how gorgeous your skin looked, Danny. So, you know, I watched literally from start to finish because I thought whatever she's got going on in her skincare routine, I need in my life. So thank you so much for sharing. Honestly, and to everybody else that's done a skincare routine this week, I mentioned Danny's because that was literally the last one I watched before I came on here, but I've been so inspired by all your skincare routines. So if you've kind of had enough of me and any routines I do and you want another perspective, hop over to the Mad About Skin Facebook group, which is just Mad About Skin. I think Tom's going to be linking it in the comment section, so you can click on the link to join and join us there, because honestly, you guys have been posting your routines and I love every single one of them. They're so inspiring and they're just amazing. You're all going to do me out of a job. Celia, wonderful to see you, my love. I hope all's wonderful with you. Patty, fantastic. Tom, so half of the comments at the start of this seem to have disappeared. So Patty says, I'm so sorry you're feeling poorly, Tom. Tom, I had no idea. So I'm sending lots and lots of love and I hope you feel very much better soon. I'll ping you a text after we've done the live, but I'm sending lots of love and I hope you feel much better soon. Marlene says, I'm not drinking. I need to be lucid today. Well, it is so hot here in the UK. I think it's something like, is it something, I don't know how it is in Fahrenheit. I always say it's like 70 or something. So whatever that is in Celsius for the conversion. So I've gone from tea and I'm on this water thing, this beaker of water. I don't even know. I think this used to be one of those energy drinks or like protein drink thing. I haven't been to the gym in years, so it's not for that. Using it for my water to keep hydrated. And it's ice cold, which is all good. Tom says self-inflicted. Okay, I do need to know this story later, Tom. Jenny, welcome, my love. Welcome. Let's have a look. William, so good to see you, William. Lovely to see you. And do you know what I love so much about these lives is, even though I'm running late, I'm going to try and not. I do promise, I'm going to try and not. You guys just chat amongst yourselves. And actually, I just love reading all your comments, so thank you so much. Today, normally after these lives, we have a video where we premiere a video, we go across, we see today's video, and we chat amongst ourselves while the video is playing. I actually thought I'd mix it up today. I like doing those, and I love doing the premieres, but I always feel like I have to cut the live short, because then we've got to go on to the premiere and it's all pre-timed. And so I thought, okay, I've already put today's video out there. It's already out there if you want to check it out. If you haven't already, after the live, go and watch it. It's only like 5 minutes long. But I thought, no, let's do it differently today, because then there's no time constraint. I can just keep chatting till all of the comments are answered, or I lose my voice. We'll see which comes first. So like, yeah, and to everyone in Canada, I know that there's been some positive news around the lockdowns that you're going on with. So I'm sending you lots and lots of love, because obviously it feels a wonderful thing when we can come out of that. But make sure you're staying safe wherever you are. Viola, wonderful to see you. Valentina, so good. Let's have a look. But we have our first question from Valentina. So let's do a question. She says, Robert, do you agree with typology on the restorative properties of lavender extract for the skin? They recommend it for irritated skin on the webpage, and I'm always confused with lavender. So, I think lavender gets a bad name. When we talk about being sensitive to certain ingredients, some people find certain ingredients triggering, some people don't. And I think it's all kind of, can get a little bit confusing. At the end of the day, you can be allergic to any single ingredient, which is why patch testing is so important. Like, make sure you patch test before you apply any single product, because you can be allergic to everything. So when we call out things like bergamot, lavender, things like that are always called out as being problematic, but actually you can literally be allergic to anything. So patch testing is crucial. Lavender is actually really calming, is really soothing, and can be really beneficial for the skin, especially if you have irritated skin. So I don't mind it in a product. The problem is, and why it sometimes gets a bad reputation, is on the irritation scale, you are more likely, statistically be more likely to be irritated by lavender than you are by some other extracts. So that's where it gets its bad reputation. And I would say, if you have sensitive skin, or skin that's pretty much triggered by a lot of ingredients, I'd probably just, as a caution, give lavender a pass, because you don't want to inflame whatever's going on in your skin. But it can add so much benefit. So I actually really like it. We've also got to be mindful that waters and extracts are very different to essential oils, and the way that products are formulated and distilled matters. So you've kind of got to bear that in mind. I actually love a lot of the typology products that have lavender in. I like the scent. I find it calming and soothing, but I don't have sensitive skin. So that's where I think it is a little bit difficult. But I would definitely say, if you want to try it, don't splurge on a product that's super expensive with lavender in. Try it with a cheaper product, patch test it. If it doesn't work, you can toss it out and you've not spent too much money. If you spend it on a bougie extra product, then you're going to feel bad that you might not be able to use it. Christina, welcome. So good to see you. Let's have a look. Tanya, welcome. And Michelle, Danny, we've already said hello to. Jan, so wonderful to see you. Oh, so Jan says, joining you from my bed, having a midnight snack of cheese and biscuits. I love this. I love the fact that we can all come together on these live chats and talk about a load of rubbish and skincare and all the good stuff, wherever we are in the world. So I'm sending so much love to Bangkok, my love. And if anybody else is sat in bed watching this, I'm sending you so much love. I did have a cheeky nap before this, so I'm putting that out there. I did get out of my bed to get changed to come on this. And no regrets. Oh, Cecilia has a question. This is a really good question, actually. How do I combat hyperpigmentation on the left side of my face from driving in the heat? This is a common, this is very common with people that do long distance driving. So they often find that they put their arm on the window, and so they tend to have more of pigmentation on this arm or this side of the face. And it can be really difficult to treat. So I do know how difficult it can be. I would definitely say it's about evening things up. So if you look at that this side of the face is more pigmented than this side, then what I've done, because I've done this in the past when I've had similar issues, is I use my pigment correcting serums every other day on this side and every day on this side. That way it kind of evens it out, because a lot of the time pigment is what we see in perspective, so one side will always look worse than the other. So whilst you think, oh, I'll just put it on both sides equally and it'll all get better at the same rate, it will, but one will always look worse than the other. So it's about kind of cheating the eye. And so I would totally recommend using half the time on one and then all of the time on the side that you want to treat. And that kind of worked for me. I don't know what the science is behind that, but that's how I dealt with it. And I do know you're not alone, Celia, because I know so many people that do long distance driving, whether it's their job or commute, they do report the exact same thing. Obviously, wearing I know, for example, Celia, I know you wear your sunscreen religiously, so and this won't apply to you, but for anyone else in a similar situation, again, it just goes to show the importance of wearing sunscreen. And I do know some people that wear a double layer on the side they think is going to be impacted. I don't know whether layering sunscreen, the jury's out on that, but it's certainly, I don't think it's not going to harm. So there's options there. Megan, welcome. Let's have a look and see. Annika, so wonderful to see you. Sending lots and lots of love. Ivan said, I spoiled myself with some bagel and lox. It was worth it. I love bagel and lox. I actually had never had it until a friend of mine who lives in the East End of London said, oh, can we go to lunch? And I said, yeah. And she said, can we take this place that a family friend owns? I said, absolutely. And it was this like gorgeous Jewish run deli, and it had so many things. And I had so many things that I couldn't pronounce, but I absolutely loved every single one of them. And I remember bagel and lox was one of my favourites. So I have tried it and definitely loved it. Tina, welcome. So good to see you. As it's Shelley, wonderful. We might be joined by some cats later. I've left the door open. You never know. Depends how friendly they're feeling. We did have an incident earlier where Leo, Marcel the cat he's just too lazy to ever hunt or do any of that. He's just not interested. Leo is definitely a hunter and definitely one that if you can get it, he will kill it. So unfortunately he managed to get out and terrorise the chickens. Didn't do any harm, and they're big enough to fend him off anyway, but he managed to get out and terrorise the chickens. So he's very, very much in the cat house, and he will not be, I won't be speaking to him if he does make an appearance, because I've fallen out with him, bless him. Leah, welcome. I'm doing wonderful, my love. Thank you so much for joining. So I really like the video about bad skin. Well, do you know what? I filmed that video because I just looked back. I thought, yeah, I've hit 35. Have no idea how that happened. Like, I'm actually generally, one thing I didn't convey in that video, I don't think particularly well, is I'm actually happier with my skin now at 35 as what I was at 25. And I know a lot of people say, oh, aging is so bad and we hate birthdays because it always reminds them that they're getting older. I actually love it. And do you know what? If I could turn back the clock, I wouldn't go back. I actually love where I am now. But I thought this, I'm so glad it works for people's confidence and to build people up. But literally the day after, I have Mount Krakatoa coming on my chin. So this zit, which I've tried to conceal as best I can, but do you know what? There is no concealing it. It's huge. It's just been growing and growing and growing. And I've just bought the Sunday Riley Saturn. I don't know if anyone's heard of this. It's like a sulfur paste with beautiful, I think it's kind of like the succinic acid blemish treatment by the Inculist, but like next level, because it's got tea tree, it's got sulfur, it's got salicylic acid, it's got antioxidants, it's got basically everything in there. I've bought that as like a last ditch resort to try and get rid of this. I'm going to plaster it on tonight and I will let you know if it works well as a spot treatment. Sending lots and lots of love to Julia. Thank you so much for joining. Let's see. Megan says, question for Rob. Okay, we have another question. Megan says, what products would you recommend using alongside tretinoin and clindamycin? Oh, so I have used both tretinoin and clindamycin in the past. I now use adapalene, but that can still be quite drying. So for those of you that don't know, tretinoin in particular can be very dry to the skin for the first period that you use it. And so anything you can do to get hydration back in the skin, I would totally recommend. So there's a few things that I would call out. I think getting a really good ointment, and I use the term ointment as something that generally means thick, occlusive, seals everything in, because that's so important if you have that really, really dry skin. Today's video was on the Cicaplast Balm by La Roche-Posay, which isn't the product I would personally recommend because it's not cruelty-free. And so I want to share some dupes out there, and Franz actually in the comment section of that called out plethora of Cica creams which are out there on the Korean beauty market. So this is really good. So I would get yourself a Cica cream, which will just help so much to lock in that moisture. I also called out in that video some cruelty-free dupes to La Roche-Posay, which I totally recommend. I love the Lano Balm, which is like it's packed. It isn't vegan, so I don't know if you're living a plant-based lifestyle, but I will call that out. But it's packed full of really nice, nourishing and hydrating things that just seals everything in. So check out some of the recommendations in that video, or go across. I know Kelly Driscoll did a video on the best Cica balms from Korea. That would be a really great option, and I haven't checked out her video. It's on my to watch list tonight, and hopefully I'll be doing a bit of an update, but I think that is the number one thing you can do. Also, I would recommend maybe getting a couple of really good hydrating toners and just layering them into your routine, because you can get a marginal increase in the level of hydration from toners that can also calm and soothe. Panthenol will be your friend, but I do know how difficult it can be to incorporate tretinoin and clindamycin into your routine, and it can strip and dry, but honestly it's worth getting through, and it does really help with acne. N566 says, Rob, I'm turning 25 soon. Well, happy birthday for when the big day arrives. What products should I start adding to my skincare routine? I don't use retinol yet, and I have dry acne prone skin. So if you've got dry acne prone skin and 25, I would say, if I was going to splurge, think of your birthday presents, your treats to yourself for your birthday. I would buy a copper peptide and a multi-peptide formulation. You know I love the Neod copper amino isolate, but there's also some other really great options out there. Because I think at 25 is the point at which our skin starts to lose collagen and elastin and starts to dry out slightly. So you've already got dry skin, so you want to counter that, and peptides will help. And the copper peptides will boost up the level of collagen in the skin, so it'll be really great. I would totally recommend using a retinol. I think it's a really great place to start at 25. It's never too young to start, if I'm totally honest, but I think 25 is a really good age to start incorporating that. If you've got very dry acne-prone skin, I would recommend doing it every third day. Don't push it too far and go for something super hydrating but also quite gentle. My two recommendations would be the Medicate Crystal Retinol 3, which is their lowest strength, perfect for you and very hydrating, or the Inculist. If you want a cheap retinol, the Inculist retinol will be great for your skin type as well. I did a video on dry acne prone skin, and some of those products in there, I think, have a look at that video review, which has actually done really well. I didn't realise how many people were suffering with that skin type. I say suffering. I never like to use that term when we talk about skin type, that are dealing with dryness alongside acne. Check out that video, because if you haven't got all of those steps in your routine, you might want to pick one of those and maybe treat yourself. If it's your birthday, treat yourself to a really nice bougie one of whatever product you want to include. But let me know how you get on with whichever you choose. We've got Patty says, hi, Elf has expanded their Holy Hydration line and now have a gel moisturiser. Patty, you are like my saviour. If anybody has a gel moisturiser out there, it is summer, and here in the UK it's got fractionally warmer, and already I'm literally like a grease slick, and it should have used blotting powder before I came on here. So anybody out there that has a gel moisturiser recommendation, I'd love to hear it. I'm loving the V-Green one at the moment. I love the Holy Hydration from Elf, so I'm going to try that one out, Patty. I'm definitely going to order that after this video, because I love a lot of their products. They're cruelty-free, they're just fantastic, so I'd love to try that. But if anyone else has like favourites when it comes to their gel moisturisers, let me know. Now I'm going to take a sip of my water before I lose my voice completely. We're already at 60 likes, which is amazing. The live last week was the most watched live ever. It was also the most liked as well. So thank you so much, everybody. If you haven't already, if you click that like button, you can minimize the chat, click the like button, maximize the chat, and it goes back to the same place where you left off, just as a side note. But I'm going to have a sip of my water, which is so good. It's only water, but I needed it. Malin says, hi Rob, can I use the Purito Centella serum with my tretinoin? Absolutely. You might find, the only thing I'll call is you might find it's not quite hydrating enough. So especially in the early days of tretinoin, you might want to add an extra hydrator in there, something like another serum or a thicker balm afterwards. But absolutely, it pairs beautifully with tretinoin. Chris says, happy Saturday. Do you know, I've done what I always do and I've lost my place in here, so I'm just going to go back. And let's see if I can find where I was. I do this every week. It's like a running joke. I did say to Marlene when we were talking about filming it on, the traditional setup, the old setup for you guys that have been around the channel from the start. And we were laughing because Marlene said, I used to remember the phone. I used to film it on my phone. These on my phone. Used to fall, like I literally used to drop the phone 2 or 3 times alive. Now I'm filming this on my Apple Mac computer, so there is no chance I'm going to drop this, just even for old time's sake. But leave me a comment if you remember those old lives where the phone would literally drop to the floor, knocked off by a cat, chat maybe like 3 or 4 times during it. So Christy says, happy Saturday. I chopped off my hair yesterday and I regret it now. Christy, don't regret it. Do you know what? Life is full of regrets, but I always think don't. It's either a lesson to be learned or you'll get to use it. Because do you know what? I know so many of my friends went for the big chop, particularly after we came out of a lockdown. They were like, you know what? I can't live with this. I need the chop. Went for the chop and regretted it. And then it kind of grew on them, grew out a little bit, and they're like, no, I love this, and haven't looked back. So I honestly think you'll look, first of all, you'll look stunning, so do not worry about it. And I think, honestly, you'll grow to love the shorter hair. I'm going for mine cutting, I think it's Wednesday next week. And I'm going to go super short just to see what it looks like, because I've never gone super short. So you guys, you'll have to let me know what you actually think. Dale S says, how do I get rid of post-inflammatory erythema? It can be difficult to treat, so I would recommend a couple of things topically, and then we'll go into some of the things you could have on top of that. First of all, get an azelaic acid in your life and a tranexamic acid. Use both of them together. You can use one morning, one evening if you don't want to use them in the same routine. They're the 2 most effective ways of treating it. Also, make sure that you haven't got any, you've tackled whatever has caused it in the first place, whatever that might be. And then honestly, I've had so many great results when I had it previously with laser treatments at the dermatologist's office. So I would recommend you speak to your dermatologist or esthetician if you're able to, because that can really help. And I think light and laser therapy are 2 of the most effective ways of dealing with it. If it's available to you. Dominique, welcome, my love. Welcome. Lovely weather in Holland. Gorgeous weather here as well. I might be a grease slick because it's got super warm, but I'm loving this and I have 0 regrets. I love the slightly warmer weather. Vantina, love the retro. Thank you. The old retro couch. I don't know why I stopped. Oh, I remember why I stopped filming on the couch, because the light, as you can see, was always so brutal. You had to pick your time of day when you could actually film so well, otherwise it just didn't work. So I'm sending lots and lots of love to everyone that remembers the retro vibes. Let's have a A-Line says, I had the Paula's Choice commercial. Yeah, I get a lot of Paula. I'm not a huge fan of Paula's Choice, but she advertises a whole lot. Well, she's not even in charge of the company anymore. She advertises a whole lot on this channel, and you know, all power, it brings in the coin, so I'm not complaining, but I've never been that big a fan of Paula's Choice. Brianna says, how to treat texture. Exfoliation will be your key, Brianna. Just make sure you find the right exfoliator for you. So often people go with the super high strength exfoliators from the start. That could just be too much for our skin. So I would recommend going for something a little bit more gentle, something like mandelic acid maybe to start with, and build up from there. You can also use a retinol as well, which will help with texture, but that's more of a long-term thing. So for a short-term fix, exfoliation is key, and just choose the right exfoliating acid, and honestly, you'll see such a big improvement. Tom says, hey Rob. Tom, I'm so far behind. I'm so far behind with these comments. I'm sending you lots and lots of love. Madonna says, I miss that couch. Do you know what? This couch is so comfortable, like literally so comfortable. I did though realise, I thought this was one of those, you know, couch sofa bed things where you pull it out and it's a bed. It's actually not. So invited people to stay around. It's actually not a sofa bed. But, you know, you live and learn when people are desperate to crash and you have nowhere for them to sleep. That's when you learn these things. Danae says, medical school exams this week. Wish me luck. Danae, I am sending you so much love and positive vibes. And you know what? You can do it. I think 90% of our challenges in life are about manifesting the right outcome. If you believe you can do it, you will. I'm manifesting that this zit goes away. Let's see if that works out. I'll let you know tomorrow, but I honestly wish you so much luck with your medical exams. Jenny says, and there's the famous couch. You look fab as always. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. I thought it's so warm. I thought, let's do the open shirt. On display is the one chest hair I'm actually able to grow. And do you know what? I'm living for it. It's all good. It's all good. Brooke, welcome, my love. After a long week of work, I think you deserve to sit and chill and talk skincare with us. So we don't have a video going live after this. The video's already gone live today. So there is no time pressure. We can sit here and chat as long as we need to till the comments are answered. So keep them coming in, guys. Claire, welcome, my love. I'm fantastic. Thank you so much for joining. Diana, wonderful to see you as always. Stein says, what do we think of Peach and Lily? I was disappointed that none of their products smell of peach or lily. That, I think, is a missed opportunity from a marketing perspective. I know not everyone likes fragrance, but with a brand like that, I wanted to, I wanted that sensorial. I wanted it to smell gorgeous. I haven't actually tried many of their products. They're not super easy to get here in the UK, but I'm happy to do a review of them if people, if there's a Peach and Lily brand review people want. This week, we did a brand review on Beauty of Yosen and Be Minimalist, which is an Indian skincare brand, and you guys loved both those videos. So happy to do more brand reviews if you want a little peach and lily thrown in there. Now, before we continue with the questions, I am just going to give a huge shout out and mention to the Facebook group. For anyone that hasn't actually joined the Facebook group, you are missing out, because honestly, my favourite place to chill. If I just want like a little bit of quiet time, a little bit of, relaxing. I used to reach for Netflix. No, do not need to do that anymore. I absolutely love the Facebook group, and I would totally recommend people join it if you haven't already. And make sure you upload your routine. I've been promising to do mine, and if I'm honest, I'm just not as brave as you guys. You guys are literally, zero makeup, living your best life, showing off your gorgeous skin to the world, and I've got this massive zit and I had a previous one here, and I'm like, I'll film my routine when that's gone. I'm like, do you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody actually cares or will read me for the odds it. So I am going to do it, and I promise. But while we're talking about Netflix, just as a side note, and this is why I'm always so far behind with comments, but as a side note, on Netflix, I discovered a program called Special. Leave me a comment. I know Tom's watched it because I recommended it to Tom, and he literally binge watched it in one night. And that is how good this series is. So let me know if you've heard of the program called Special on Netflix, which is basically about a guy with cerebral palsy and his life, but it's so funny. It is so uplifting and so funny, and it's wrote from his perspective, and the guy that wrote it, and it's his autobiography, also acts in it. It's so authentic, and it just opened my eyes so much to everything, and it was like laugh out loud hilarious, and yet still really evocative and thought-provoking and really enjoyable to watch. So good. So if you haven't watched it, definitely check that on Netflix. And I bought his autobiography on the back of the show because I just loved it. Bought the autobiography, and I thought the title of his autobiography is just amazing. So his autobiography is called I'm Special and the Other Lies We Tell Ourselves. Do you know what? Anyone that can read themselves that effectively has to be good in my book. So just as a side note, if anyone's stuck for a Netflix show. Now Nala says, hi Rob, is the neod ethylated ascorbic acid in a stable form? It is. So the ethylated element is what makes it stable. So it is a stable form of pure form vitamin C. You still can't use it directly against peptides, or I wouldn't recommend, because it is in a low pH form. But yeah, it's much more stable than a pure form L-ascorbic acid in its traditional form. I love the product. I just have moved on to vitamin C derivatives. I find they pair better with the other steps in my skincare routine, but that's just personal preference. Now, I'm going to have a sip of my water. We have 80 likes, so thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, everybody that has liked. So, all I'll say is, if you want to see more action on a retro sofa, back to the good old days of the lives, don't forget to give this one a like to let me know. Now, let's see how many... Oh, we've got so many more questions, so let's crack on with some of them. Naisha, welcome, I love international language of dance. Favourite. If I had to choose, and I don't show favouritism on this channel, if I had to choose, two of my favourite YouTube handles, international language of dance, I love, and Marlene the Christmas Glow, I love, because in my house, it is Christmas year round. Love it. Literally love it. Good evening, Rob. Thank you for joining, my love. Hope you're well. My question this week is, can I use green tea itself as a toner? Now, I thought this would come up on the back of me raving about green tea in my antioxidant video. So, green tea is an amazing antioxidant. And actually, if you use green tea bags, ingest them, drink the tea, because first of all, inside your body is just as important as outside. So yes, work really well. And when you've got the tea bags, yeah, the key thing to do is the tea leaves have to have released the polyphenols, which is what gives you the antioxidants. So you have to kind of leave it on the side to kind of do its work for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. You can't just put a dry tea bag on, wouldn't work, but works so well. Get the tea bag, put them on the eyes. If you want that extra bouginess, put them in the fridge or the freezer to cool them down. Yeah, I totally recommend it. I use because black tea also has antioxidants in as well. So I don't waste a single tea bag in this house. I put them all in the fridge, and then every twice a day, I just stick them on the eyes. I'm like, such a good way of minimizing the waste because you're getting extra usage of it, and it is so good. Another thing I always do is once I've done that, I then tear open the tea bag and I put it on the garden because it's again really good for the soil. So no need to waste it. I will always call out, just as a side note when it comes to tea bags, is if you use loose leaf tea, kind of better because Tea bags often contain plastic, which means you can't recycle them. So that's just a top note, which is why I've moved on to loose leaf tea. And I'm loving the Lapsang Souchong, I think I said that right, gunpowder tea at the moment, which someone bought for me for my birthday, like a massive vat of the loose leaf tea. It's like so smoky and gunpowder tasting. It is so good. Love that product. Chrissy says, Rob, I love the shot. You're looking gorgeous today as always. Thanks. Thank you. I thought, yeah, this is my denim shirt. I'm taking it back to the 90s. A little bit of denim. If anyone remembers Bewitched, which were a band, Irish band, I think, here in the UK as well, always wore double denim. I'm bringing that back. Della said, best products for redness and sensitivity. Panthenol. I love Panthenol. It's one of the most underrated ingredients in skincare. B vitamin that calms, soothes. It is so good, and I would totally recommend it. Christina says, wow, so many people already. I know, honestly, I am always so shocked with the number of people that join these lives every week. Last week's the busiest ever, and I think this week is definitely on track to be there or thereabouts again, so thank you so much. Franz, wonderful to see you. Says, I love the new setting and the fitted and half open shirt. We're living our 90s life here. This is my 90s vibes going on. But I remember filming on this sofa. I filmed my first ever YouTube video on this sofa, and I sat here, and I think it took me maybe 4 or 5 goes. I was a nervous wreck, and I just thought, for old time's sake, why not resurrect? Sometimes going back and looking back is such the best medicine, and yeah, I'm loving this. So definitely a big shout out to Marlene, who was the one that recommended this. No regrets. Yankee Lawrence Garvey says, I think I pronounced that right, sorry if I haven't. Thoughts on Ilia Moon's Ceramide Concentrate Serum and Misha's Time Revolution Essence? So I haven't tried either of these products. I'm slowly making my way into Korean skincare. In fact, I think on Monday I've got another Korean skincare haul where I'm going to be sharing with you some more products. I haven't tried either of those. I know the Ceramide concentrate is really popular, and people say how amazing and wonderful it is on their skin. So I definitely would, just on the basis of other people's recommendations, I think it'll be a great product. But I haven't actually tried either of those, but I definitely will put them on the list of Korean and Japanese skincare that I do want to try, because definitely there's some products I do want to get my hands on. So Shelley says, hi Rob, hope you had a nice birthday. I did. Oh, wait there, I can show you birthday presents. Oh, sorry, you just got a very close up, side of my head. It's my birthday tomorrow. Well, Shelley, I hope you have the most wonderful and amazing birthday, and you've got lots of wonderful skincare products and self-care products and just whatever you've asked for. I've given my husband a skincare wish list. Do you like the Ultra Sun SPF? I love the Ultra Sun SPFs. I think they're a really good, tried, tested, verified brand. I honestly don't think you can go wrong if you want that locked in protection. They're a bit on the pricey side, but you know what? Sometimes I think things that we've learned in that recent, stuff going on with sunscreens is you can't kind of put a price on knowing that you're protected. So yeah, totally would recommend. So Shelley, what is on that skincare list? Share with us all, and I expect you to join the Facebook group and do a haul of everything that you got. So just to cover, I took some things upstairs, so I haven't got them. But first of all, I got this, which is the Face Theory original fragrance. It's badged as unisex, and I definitely said it's on the unisex. Not that, you like what you like. I don't think anything like fragrance needs to be gendered, but it looks gorgeous, and it smells like, how can I describe it? It's like, it's citrusy, but kind of dark at the same time, which I love. And I love the Face Theory fragrances because they're not that expensive compared to some, I love the Aesop fragrances, but they are ridiculously expensive. So this, and as well, you can use the code MADABOUTSKIN 25, which the person that bought this for me, I did actually tell them to use the code at the same time. I want people saving money. They might as well save 25%. And honestly, it just smells, if you like citrus, if you like kind of orangey, citrusy, but dark and rich, this honestly is one of my go-to fragrances. I'm wearing it now. If it was smell-o-vision, I would be treating you all to a spritz. I also got this, which is the Rêve de Miel by Nui. I think it's Nui. Marlene, I know you speak much better French than I ever will, so you can tell me how my pronunciation is. But this is the lip balm, which I've recommended before because I haven't tried it for years and years and years, but I loved it. honestly, holy grail. Honey, all the good stuff, none of the drying ingredients. Absolutely love it. So they were like my 2 birthday treats that I really look forward to. What else did I get? I got some clothes, which I'll feature in videos as we go along. I got some new trainers because I'm trying to start running. We'll see how that goes. And I got I've been taken out by, I'm actually going to see my parents in a couple of weeks' time. I've been taken out to dinner by my mother. So my dad's coming along. My dad never comes along to anything. Like, my mum is always up for a dinner. My dad's like a typical Yorkshireman that's like, no, don't want to spend money, not going out. We're going to the Ivy, which is a really, really nice restaurant here in the UK. We're going to the one in Harrogate, which is where I was originally from. And my dad was like, I can't wait to come, want to join. I was like, where's Dad? What have you done with him? So it'll be really nice because actually, you guys know how difficult it's been for like last year and a half. So it'll just be really, really nice to sit and chill and actually, spend some family time. So I'm really looking forward to that. And that's kind of like the best birthday present. But the fact my mum was treating me to a slap-up dinner at the Ivy, that's also the present. Leah says, is it dangerous to use an oxidized antioxidant serum or just less effective? This is something I wish I'd featured in my antioxidant video. So oxidized products don't have the same efficacy, but they're not dangerous. So, if your product's got a bit funky or whatever, I would encourage people to toss it out because there's no point using it. It's not going to add a whole lot. But if it's just started to oxidize a little bit and you continue to use it, it's not going to damage your skin. So you're absolutely fine. You're just not going to be getting that same potent. If you think of how they work, so antioxidants work by grabbing hold of oxidative stresses, so oxidized elements, and they then get oxidized as a result of that because they're kind of protecting your skin by taking the damage themselves. When the product's oxidized, it's taken that damage, so actually it's not going to be as effective on the skin, if that makes sense. Hey Richmond, welcome my love, I'm so glad you can join us. I cleanse with the ordinary and use lactic acid next before the retinol and then neutralize the skin. What can I use before to neutralize the skin? Should I use the sub-Q skin? So I wouldn't use let me have a look. You're using the ordinary, then the lactic acid before the retinol, and to neutralize the skin, I would use something that I would use like a really nice toner. Something like the one that I use is the Geek and Gorgeous liquid hydration because it does the job and it would work really well. If you're not sensitive to hyaluronic acid, you could use a hyaluronic acid serum. You could use a niacinamide serum if you're not sensitive to niacinamide. The sub-Q would be great to put on, but I'd actually put something on between the lactic acid and the sub-Q. So I would definitely recommend using the sub-Q, but I'd almost go cleanse, exfoliate with your lactic acid, use a toner or something like hyaluronic acid, then the sub-Q, then the retinol. That is a stunning skincare routine. If you want some more recommendations, just drop me a comment below. If you want some more recommendations or none of those float your boat, let me know and I'll happily give you some other buffering recommendations for you. Let's have a look. Mui, I think I pronounced your name right. It's a new subby here. I'm sending lots and lots of them. There's so many new names joining these chats every week, and honestly, it makes me so happy to see that. Thank you so much to everyone that's joining the chats for the first time. We're here every single week, Saturday, 6 p.m. UK time, which is 1 p.m. over on the eastern seaboard of the US, and I don't know the time anywhere else, so drop it in the comments if you know the time wherever you are. And we just love to sit down, we talk skincare, we answer questions, we talk about our week, what's going on. It's just a family gathering. Just pretend that you're sat here on the sofa, we're just chilling, we've got a cup of tea, a water, whatever, on the go, and we're just enjoying talking about whatever we want to talk about. So thank you so much for joining, and welcome to everybody that's new to the chat, and for the OG, the people that remember sitting on the sofa and having our first ever live stream. I'm sending you a special amount of love. Fran says, hi Tom, hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Do you know what, Franz, I love your comment today on today's video. It was just so lovely to hear from you, so thank you so much for joining this as well. And Franz, honestly, his skincare routine again over on the Facebook group, so good. William says 34 likes and no dislikes. There you go. This is a record. We're actually at 96 likes already. So if you do want to, join the like club, then, you can always minimize the chat, click the like button, and then maximize the chat, and it takes you back to the point where you were. I'm going to have a quick sip of my tea, and then we are going to get on with some questions. Now, let's have a look. So Julia says, I'm so far behind watching everyone's skincare routines on the Facebook group. Julia, my suggestion, get under the duvet cover and do a binge. This is what I did last night, because I was so behind all of the comments and stuff on the Facebook group. I'd just been so busy this week, I hadn't had a chance to catch up. Got myself one of my favourite cups of tea. I got under the duvet cover and I just binged watched content on the Facebook group for about 2.5 hours. Best 2.5 hours I've ever spent, so no regrets. Brooke says, any essence recommendations for dry skin? Oh, Brooke, if you can get your hands on the Blythe 9 Seed Essence. Stunning. It's got 9 different seed oils in there, which is fantastic at hydrating the skin, but it's also light enough that you can almost use it on oily skin. I don't use it every day because it is quite thick and quite rich, but you know what? It is a stunning product. I love Blythe. They're cruelty-free. They're a great Korean brand. Definitely would recommend it. I watched all your ordinary videos and bought everything yesterday. Well, I'm so glad that it's useful. I still love the ordinary. Let me know if there's any other content from some of my traditional brands that I love that you guys want to see, because I'm branching out to some new brands and I've got some, I'm doing this week, I'm going to do like the products that I tried in May style video. But if you want any specific, go back to the good old, I used to love Pixie, The Ordinary, you guys know I love Neod, Hyperpigmentation, all the old ones. If there's any like reviews or video ideas for those, just let me know. Let's have a look. Oh, Marlene has come in with a question. I only have one question. I love you, Marlene. I officially adore you. Who says, if you were straight and 25 years younger and divorced, would you marry me? Marlene, absolutely. Don't even need to think about that. Absolutely. If it would be a no, hands down, no questions asked. Definitely. Elias says, I'm currently using the La Roche-Posay. Mally, sorry, you just make me you crack me up so much, Mally. You're so sad. And actually, before I go on to Elias's question, I do just want to say, Marlene is a fantastic supporter and has designed some amazing merch items. Now, I didn't want to do merch at all because, do you know what? I make more than enough to keep going from like some of the ad revenue from you, from the channel, and I was never in this for the money and making as much money as possible. I did this because I just love skincare. But I just thought, it's a missed opportunity to make some money for charity, to do some good, and having, you guys obviously saw the Mad About Skin hoodies, wanted some, and I thought it'd be a really great way that we could do something for charity. Marlene so kindly designed some Mad About Skin hoodies and some different designs, some bags, some also, honestly, the best designs I've seen. And so we are going to be coming out with this. It's a watch this space at the moment, but definitely coming out. But we do want to choose a charity. So if you have any charities, things I'd like I'm open to suggestions. I think things that we can do is international. I guess it's preferable because, you guys come from the 4 corners of the world, so international would be great. Not too political because I don't want to be caught up in any internet drama. Don't need any of that. But just any suggestions from wonderful charities that you think we can support this merch line, I'd be totally open to that because, let's do some good and also share the love. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. But big thank you to Marlene for honestly being so amazing. Elias says, I'm currently using the La Roche-Posay Vitamin C Serum. It contains some fragrance, which I don't really mind, but I'd really appreciate any better alternatives. So, again, I don't mind fragrance. I actually quite like fragrance in my skincare routine. But I do know that sometimes, and vitamin C is one of those occasions where, because vitamin C can be a little bit on the harsh side anyway, just because it's in a low pH form sometimes, that fragrance maybe isn't the best thing to combine it with. If you're looking for a vitamin C serum, the ones that I'd recommend is, for a similar price to the La Roche-Posay one, you can get the ethylated ascorbic acid network by Neod, which I think will give you better results than that La Roche-Posay one, and is fragrance free. I honestly think it would be a great alternative to use for that. If you want to go a little bit cheaper, honestly, the derivative, the ascorbyl tetraisopalmitate solution, which is a derivative from the Ordinary, so affordable, so cheap, very similar texture to the La Roche-Posay Vitamin C, and honestly, I think is a fantastic option, so definitely I'd recommend that. Tom very kindly has left the link to the Facebook group throughout the chat, so if you haven't already, make sure you join, and we'd love to have you over there. Christine says, I love the question, Marley. I always think, Marley, if you don't ask, you don't get in this life. This is my motto. Alison says, hi Rob, happy birthday. Thank you so much, my love. The La Roche-Posay Hydrating Cleanser is my holy grail, but I'm trying to go cruelty-free. What are some good affordable alternatives that are also cruelty-free? I honestly found it so difficult to give up my La Roche-Posay. When I went on my cruelty-free journey. Some brands I was like, I can get rid of those. Doesn't matter. La Roche-Posay was one of the hardest ones to give up, and I'm delighted that this year they have committed to going entirely cruelty-free. We need to wait till that point happens, but I have got my fingers crossed, and obviously I'll be the first to reinvest in them once that's confirmed. In terms of their hydrating cleanser, I honestly really love the Inculist fulvic acid brightening cleanser. Do I think it brightens the skin? No. But it's hydrating and it leaves a beautiful texture on the skin. So honestly, so affordable, so good. I just get over the fact I don't think it brightens the skin. I think we need to just dispel that myth. I don't think it brightens the skin. But I do think it gives a really nice feel to the skin, which I love. I also love the Alpha H Balancing Cleanser. I'd say that's a little less hydrating than the La Roche-Posay one. But Alpha H are cruelty-free and I do love that product. It is so good. And if you're feeling bougie, if you're feeling extra and you want to treat yourself, honestly, Medik8 do a little bit more expensive than La Roche-Posay, but so good hydrating cleanser. That, game changing. And actually, sometimes I don't think we call out Paula's Choice. The Paula's Choice cleansers aren't that expensive. They are entirely cruelty free and they do a really nice hydrating one. So actually, Paula's Choice is not the cheapest brand, but I think their cleansers are the least expensive of all of the Paula's Choice products. And I think they're some of the best. So I would go for one of their hydrating ones. Definitely worth a look. William says Pride Month starts in 3 days. Does it? I think it might. Does it just? I thought it changed based on country to country, but it doesn't. But whatever anyone's doing for Pride, I'm sending you lots of love. Did I think it was August here in the UK? That makes me a really bad gay. I need to check that. But sending lots and lots of love. And you know what? I always think whatever you're doing, whoever you are, whatever you believe in, whatever you don't believe in, I just think we should all be proud of ourselves. And this is going to sound totally cliche, but I am totally on board with this. If you just look at yourself, and this is why I just looked on, I sat down on this sofa. It took me back to 18 months ago when I was a nervous wreck. And still, do you know what? My editing could be so much better. I know I still stumble over some of my words. There's so many things I could change and improve. But I'm so proud of the journey I come on, and you guys have been such a big part of it. So whatever you're proud of, I think we should absolutely celebrate it and celebrate just being absolutely amazing and loving ourselves, because I think we should always be embarrassed to love ourselves, because it's a bit like, somebody loves themselves. Yeah, but you know what? How can you expect other people to love you if you don't love yourself? There you go. Motto of the day. Throw that out there. Marley said, I can't throw my bra at Rob, so I've decided to throw a question. I did say, Marlene, we're having zero bra throwing in any of the lives. Laurie says, hello from Calgary. Sending lots and lots of love. First time joining. Well, honestly, Laurie, you are in good company, because we have a huge Canadian, I can't get my words out there, Canadian contingent here on Mad About Skin. In fact, I was shocked. I did a little bit of a review of our analytics on the channel to see, you know, what people were, you know, what the trends were in terms of countries that people are finding the channel from. Canada is heavily represented, and I love every single person out there from Canada. I'm sending lots and lots of love. Ivan, happy Pride Month to you, my love. Canadian tea addict, again, another Canadian right in there, and I love my tea, so all good. Hi again from Winnipeg, sending lots and lots of love. I use the chlorine micellar water as my only cleanse in the AM and don't rinse it off. I would love to review this product. I absolutely love it. Well, I would happily review that. I don't know why it took me so long to read that comment. I'm out of practice. But yeah, I'd happily try that out, because I love good micellar water. And I'm a little bit like you. I don't rinse my micellar waters off. Now, I know a lot of people do. I don't. I think if you choose a nice one that hasn't got loads of irritants in there, why are we washing it off? I actually don't wash off my micellar water either. So yeah, I'll happily review that product. Don't worry. When after I've watched film this video, it's always up live for people to catch up on that don't get to watch it first time round. And I always watch it back the next day and make a list of all the comments that I've promised to do certain things for. So I'm definitely, when I watch this back, I'll definitely put one on order and try it. Claire says, hi Robin, everybody. Splashed out on the Nail Survival 30 and missed the Selfridges offer. Skin feels amazing. I love it. Yeah. So I'm so sorry that Selfridges cost so much to ship to other countries, but here in the UK, it's such a good offer. So for those of you, not sponsored the house, but I will say, if you live in the UK, you can go to Selfridges and get the Neod Survival 30, which is my favourite antioxidant and SPF all in one. Gorgeous. And you get a free bottle of the Superoxide Dismutase Mist. So it's like $15. You save it like £15, and you never get a freebie with Neod ever. So it's honestly great. So if you want to hop over to Selfridges and live in the UK, definitely recommend that. If you don't live in the UK, the Neod Survival 30 is just brilliant on its own. Obviously the Mist is a nice freebie, but I think the Neod Survival 30 at its own price point, definitely worth it. Pooja says, why do I get small bumps, like very small acne, when some products like hydrating cream, moisturizing sunscreen, but actually remove it, but it comes back? So some of these things could just be closed comedome, so it could just be congested skin. I'd say, do you have an exfoliator in your skincare routine? Because that can be the best way of preventing this from being a recurring thing. So I would definitely recommend looking at an exfoliator if you haven't got one already. Something start gentle. So I don't know what your skin tone or type is, but I'd say if you start gentle, something like a mandelic acid can really help just to really break those apart, or even lactic acid can be super effective. Hey Richmond says, thank you for your help. It's a pleasure, my love, an absolute pleasure. International Language says, I'm in bed with cheese and biscuits too. Oh, do you know, everyone that's under the duvet currently, living your best duvet life, I am sending so much love. And actually, I don't know if you call it a duvet in the rest of the world. I think that's an English thing. I think it's called bedspread in the rest of the world. But anyway, you know what I mean. You people know what I mean. Christina says, I'm dying here. I love Marley. William says, everyone is welcome to celebrate Pride. I agree. Everybody. I just think pick something that you're proud of, that you've achieved in the last year. This is what Pride is to me. Think of something that you've achieved in the last year that you're super proud of and that you did for yourself. You didn't do to impress somebody. You didn't do because you wanted to prove to somebody else. You did it for yourself, and just celebrate it and be proud of it, because do you know what? I think sometimes we underplay our achievements and we look and we think, oh, I haven't really done much. These are always birthday times. I didn't think this year. But I know some people think they hit a birthday and think, I haven't done anything with my life. You think you have. Like, all those times that we've done, just think of something to be proud of. Let's have a look. Franz says, question for Rob. Which month will we be able to pre-order Mad About Skin products, and how much will the whole range approximately be? I need to know strategically to save some coin. So the actual launch date is going to be the 10th of August. Pre-order is going to be the 1st of August. Let me get my dates right. And there'll be a 10-day pre-order window, which will be exclusive to the Facebook group. But also, I am going to be sharing it on, for people that haven't got Facebook or maybe don't use Facebook, I'm going to include the link on these live streams, because a lot of people have said, how can I access it if I don't use Facebook, which is totally fair point. So I'm going to share the link on the live stream before the release date, so that people, you know, it's open to everybody then that's true supporters of the channel. If you buy the set, so the pricing is still being tweaked by the accountant, so, you know, fingers crossed, but the set itself with the 3 products together, you do get a 20% discount if you buy the 3 together. So factoring the 20% discount will come in at £35. No, it won't, because that was the 30% discount. It will come in at £29.50. There you go. That was quick maths, because that's without the 20% discount. So around the £30 price point if you buy all 3 together, which I want it to be super accessible. I don't want it to be like a bougie, luxury, unable to afford kind of skincare line. But also, I wanted there to be some incentive. If you wanted to buy all 3 together, you get a discount. So yeah, £29.50 for the 3 together. Open to a little bit of tweaking here, there and everywhere, but that'll be the rough amount. And let me know your thoughts on the pricing, because do you know what? I'm totally open to these things. I want it, obviously got to cover the costs, but I don't want it to be a case of, you know, oh, let's sting people on the price like some brands do, because I think skincare should be accessible. Sherry says, hello from Las Vegas. Sending love to Las Vegas. I went to Las Vegas 2 years ago. I'd love to go back. I saw Celine Dion, who was stunning. I saw Cher. Literally dream come true. I had chronic laryngitis the whole week I was there and couldn't even talk, but I still loved every minute of it. So I want to go back laryngitis free and then do it all again. So I will be coming to Las Vegas. Annika says, my husband is a chef and he always carries a bottle of pure organic lavender oil in his pocket. When he burns himself, he always puts all the oil into the wound. It heals quickly. Do you know what? I agree with you, Annika. I actually genuinely think we take oils have such a bad reputation in skincare. If you have sensitive skin, again, don't go near it. But for everybody else, it's like fragrance. It can add so much to our lives. And honestly, I love my oils. Marley said, Marley, I'm not reading out your comment, Marley, because I'm not spitting my tea out. I am not spitting my water out. I'm being classy throughout, but nice try. Hob says, could you please recommend some cruelty-free lightweight sun? Sorry. Once I get the giggles, I can't stop. Hob says, could you recommend some cruelty-free lightweight sunscreens? Yeah, the one that I'm using at the moment is the I can't get my words out now. The Make Prem UV Defense fluid. This is a new one, which is a hybrid sunscreen and is more lightweight than the old one, which was purely mineral. That's the one that I go to at the moment, and I absolutely love. I also really like the Birch, the Round Lab one, the Birch one. That is again cruelty-free and such a great option for if you want really lightweight sunscreens. Now I'm going to have a sip of my water before I giggle myself. So if you haven't already, if you could subscribe, if you haven't joined the family, click that subscribe button, and also hit that like button if you haven't already. You can minimize the chat, hit the like button, maximize the chat, and you're back to the same place you left off. So I'm just going to have a quick sip of my tea because we have got a lot of chatting still to do, and the comments are still pouring in. I should have filled that up to the top. I don't know why I didn't. Julie says, we should just be proud all the time. I agree. I totally agree. I agree with you, Juliet. Fully. Let's have a look. Peg says, what would you recommend for hyperpigmentation? I would totally recommend, well, it depends on your price point. Start with tranexamic acid because that's super affordable. You can get the Garden of Wisdom one, B Minimalist does one, the Inculist does one. Tranexamic acid, super affordable and adds so much benefit. I'd also pair that with azelaic acid. Again, Garden of Wisdom do a really nice one. The Ordinary do one, though it's not the best texture. And you can add the two together in your routine, and that'll do so much for your hyperpigmentation. If you want to go super luxury, if you're going super bougie, you can always reach for the Neod Repigment, which is the product that I use and have most success with. But it is a little bit up there in the price point. So obviously I don't know what your budget is, but there's something there for everybody. Ivan says you have great taste, Rob. Oh, thank you. I like to thank you. We'll see. We'll see. Wait, I've got a lot of new clothes for my birthday that I chose, so you can judge me on that when you see them. Diana says, I stay with... Oh, this is again coming back to those closed comedones. So staying away from textured skincare items, and I use lactic acid. I think lactic acid could be one of the best things for melia, closed comedones, whiteheads. I also think it's probably the most best performing exfoliant out there. Robin says, any recommendations for scars? I had a mole removed on my face. First of all, Robin, sending lots and lots of love. I think two things I'll call out. Scars, and I've someone's had moles removed myself, so I know. I think sometimes we expect them to disappear a lot quicker than they do. They take time to fade. It's the skin's healing. So I don't think we should expect to have a scar disappear. Once it's gone past like a year, that's when maybe, it's going to be there for the long haul. So sometimes I think we should be a bit more accepting of the scars, just let them heal themselves. But in terms of things that can help that, definitely really gentle products like azelaic acid can help so much. It'll calm down the redness, take out some of the red purpley hue that you can get with it, and just calm and soothe everything down. So I would definitely recommend using an azelaic acid. Also, collagen boosting peptides can help because if the scar's got a slight indent to it, that'll just help to smooth it out as well, which can really help. Let's have a look. Yeah, Laurie says, yes, aging is a privilege. I totally agree. I know we talk about anti-aging and that has lots of negative connotations. I think, the fact I've got to 35, don't know how I got here. Didn't expect it to happen this quickly, but here we are. I actually love my skin now and I feel way more confident than I have ever done at any point before. So, you know what? I totally agree. Aging is a privilege, and I think we should embrace it. Gunji says, hi Rob, sending lots of love from New York. I am sending lots and lots of love to you too, my love. Marlene says, please hit the like button for Rob to undo another button on his shirt. You can hit the like button. I would definitely encourage that. But I already feel like we're opening up. My grand once told me that the difference between having one button undone and two buttons undone on a date was the difference between saying good evening and saying good morning. I don't know what she was implying about me. You can think whatever you want about me, and that was always why I kept buttoned up like this. Didn't want anyone to judge me. 21 says, hello love, hope you're enjoying your weekend. I am, my love, I hope you are too. Here in the UK we actually have a bank holiday weekend. So Monday we have a bank holiday, we get a day off, which is nice. We don't get many bank holidays here in the UK. I know over public holidays are a bigger thing in North America. We don't get that many here in the UK, so it's always nice when we get one, and it's supposed to be warm, so it's like a running joke in the UK that whenever we get a public holiday, it always rains. This, I think, is supposed to be okay, so fingers crossed. Emma says, I love that you care for cruelty-free products. It's been a journey. So this is, for me, cruelty-free is a journey, not like an absolute. So it took me a long time to actually replace the non-cruelty-free products in my routine to become cruelty-free, and it took a long time, and I'm actually fine with that. You know, I always say to people that are looking to embark on a cruelty-free journey, don't throw out all your products today and say, right, I'm buying totally new ones, because that's wasting, and also I don't think it's realistic. I think change the products once at a time, look for dupes and work them out. You know, it took me a year and a half to get rid of the Cicaplast balm for my skincare routine, to find dupes that worked as well as that, and I was okay with that. It just took time, and hopefully the recommendations I make, you know, that are cruelty-free products are never like, you have to buy these, like this has to be, you have to buy this, and this has to be the way you choose to live your life. It's kind of like owning people's horizons, because I think cruelty-free skincare, a bit like natural skincare, organic skincare, all those things, had a really bad reputation because the products were pretty rubbish if you think back 10 years ago. Now, most brands are cruelty-free and don't even mention it. It's just a given. Look at the Inkey List. The Inkey List never, you know, shout about being cruelty-free and make a huge thing about it. It's just like a given. And that's wonderful, because I want to get into a world where cruelty-free isn't a thing anymore. It doesn't exist because everything is. I love to, we're not there yet, but I'd love to see that. So yeah, I'm always happy to give a cruelty-free recommendation. But I'm also happy if anyone's got any questions regarding non-cruelty-free products, they want to know my experience with them, if I've used them in the past, or the ingredients, still feel free to ask them, because I'm open to everybody. And Winona says, I always wonder what an experienced retinol user is. If I've used, e.g. the Inkey List retinol, can I go to a strong one? I love this question, because yeah, what is an experienced retinol user? That doesn't make sense. It's true. It's a term that we use. I would probably say anybody that's used retinol for more than 6 months, got past that initial retinol ugly stage where the dry skin, the sensitivity, all the bad stuff. Once you've got past that, and a couple of months past that, I think that's where you can say you're an experienced retinol user, and you can look to increase the strength, maybe use it more frequently. I think that's what I mean anyway. Different content creators might have different ways of defining that, but that's what I would class an experienced user. Alison says, hope everyone's having a great day. Thank you so much, my love, and I hope you are too. I've done that thing where I've gone to the bottom of the right. Let's have a look where I got to. I do that thing where every so often, I've not been too bad this one, to be fair, where it goes to the end of the comments and I've got to go back and try and find my space. So let's see if I can find, here we are. So we've got, is that let's see. There we are. Let's see where we are. Ivan says, I do have a Rob question. How long have you been continuously using good skincare stuff? Like what age? This is a really good question. So Ivan says he's about to turn 28 and want to look like you by 35. Well, do you know what? I have no idea what age I look, because I just look in the mirror and it's just me, isn't it? But I would say I probably started using decent skincare at 20. It was kind of an evolving picture. So I used really bad skincare. I didn't know I was using bad skincare, but I used a really bad skincare in my teens. And I kind of evolved and felt like I got better with my skincare around 20. Went to the dermatologist. She recommended some really great products. I then kind of understood products a little bit more. So it was an evolving journey. But I'd say my skincare routine now is the best it's ever been. And that took me 15 years to accomplish. So I would always say, for someone like, you say you're 28, I would say now, providing in your routine at 28 you have a good peptide, something that's going to be boosting that collagen, keeping that skin looking fresh, hydrated, and a retinol of whatever, high strength, low strength. At 28 you can be a little bit more flexible with that. I think you're pretty much good to go. The things I would focus on, if I could go back to my 28-year-old self, what would I do differently? I would check my cleanser. I just picked up any old cleanser. Like, honestly, I'd use shower gel as a cleanser. I didn't care, because cleanser wasn't important. It was all the bits that went after it. Such the wrong approach. Cleanser actually matters, because if you're starting your routine stripped, dried, and irritated, you're kind of never going to achieve anything with your routine. So I'd say think about the cleanser that you're using. Is it doing what you need it to do? And is it leaving you stripped and dried? Because if it is, choose a different one. And also think about your moisturizer. Like, the bookends of the routine are the ones that we forget about. And that's the ones that I'd focus on. That's a long way of saying make sure your cleanser's working. Snook says, hi, what do you think of Volition? Haven't tried it. I'm open to. Would you recommend it? Would anyone like to see a review of it? Because I'm quite happy to. Willie says, did our host oversee? I was a bit late because I was trying to set up. So it's definitely, yeah. Anna says, special hi to all your chicks. They are currently dust bathing. So chickens' favourite things in the world to do is to find a patch of super dry mud and to just wallow in it, and it helps like remove bits of dirt and like flecks of like maybe they've got like some insects or something in their feathers. It kind of just gets it all out. And I have never known chickens dust bathe as much as mine do. They literally take it in turns jumping in this pit, and they've dug it like it's this massive cavern in the garden, and that they just love to throw the dust about, peck for any grubs that they find while they're doing it. And it makes me so happy to see them do it because they're just so chill. And it's when they're at their most vulnerable, because obviously they're, you know, they're in the open, they're focusing on something else and not looking for predators. So it's when they're at the most vulnerable, and they'll let me come and sit next to them when they're doing it, which is like the most rewarding thing in the world because they're clearly totally chill with me, which is amazing. Though I did think the other day, it's a bit like someone watching us have a bath, so I might stop doing that because, let's be honest, no one wants someone sat there while you're bathing and trying to enjoy yourself. Elodie says, hello, do you think body skincare can be benefit to the face to save some money? Yeah, do you know what? Any product that you can use on the body, you can use on your face. All I would say is make sure that, just remember that the skin on our body is a little bit more robust than the skin on our face. So sometimes you can get away with using harsher products on the body than you can the face. So we bear that in mind. But yeah, any product that works well on your body, you can use on your face. Just, like I say, be mindful that it might be a little bit stronger than it needs to be. So just bear that in mind. SK Brother says, I saw something on TikTok recommending probiotic, not problematic, spray to help with acne. What do you think? I'm not a huge fan of probiotics, to be honest, because they're super expensive, and I do think that brands kind of know they're trendy, so they add to the price tag. But there is some theory out there that if the microbiome, which is the yeast and the bacteria on the skin, is in balance, that can help with acne. So I like the theory behind it, and I think it could work. I just think we overpay for them. So if you can find a well priced probiotic to include, I definitely would recommend it. I just don't want us to overpay for it. Tom says the Face Theory gel moisturizer is pretty damn good. It is. I love that gel moisturizer. I love the Blythe pressed serum. So good. All of those are really great. But in summer, I go through gel moisturizer like there's no tomorrow. So I'm always mixing it up. Moom says there's a really nice gel moisturizer called the Green Tea Water Bomb from Bonjour. Is that Bonjour? Yeah, it's so good. I have had quite a few people recommend that brand to me this week, so I definitely think I need to try them and look into them more, so thank you so much for the recommendation. I just realised I'm so far behind with the comments. I do apologise. I go through them in order. There's not a video to move on to after this, so we can keep chatting, people. I promise I'll get to your questions. Jennifer says, I have rosacea that I don't really care about, but it comes with hot flushes. Any recommendations on products that will help? Yeah, I think, first of all, with rosacea, I think you've got the right approach. Do you know what? Chill about it, because I think the more we worry about it, it causes stress, which then flares it up. So actually the best thing you can do with rosacea is to kind of accept it and come to terms with it, and then focus on the products you can do to improve it. And azelaic acid will be the best. Start with a low strength derivative. So something like the Geek and Gorgeous A-Pad is fantastic. It's gentle, but that will give so much results. And then you can build up to a 5% azelaic acid and work from there. That's the thing that will stop that flushing and that redness that's associated with rosacea. Laurie says, I hit the like button. Thank you so much, Laurie. Much appreciated. Monica, great to see you. Anita, so good. Recommended the Biossance glow inducing light gel moisturizer. Who doesn't like a bit of glow induction? I'm all into that. So yeah, thank you to Tom, keeping those trolls at bay. Thank you so much, Tom. Honestly, you do a great job moderating. So Fran says the gel moisturizer liked by many people in the Facebook group, including me, is the iUnique Centella Calming Gel Cream. So I really worried when I first used this. I think it was Hiram that got me onto this first. I was really worried that it'd be too thick for my oily, acne-prone skin. Not at all. The term cream, I think, is a bit misleading. I think they should have just called it gel, because that's the real consistency. But yeah, such a great product, and is definitely a moisturizer. Love it. Let's have a look. Emily says, talking about when you become a pro with your Retinol. I agree, 6 months, I agree, Emily, is that sweet spot that I think you can then move to a higher strength one. ADY says, hi, I use Tretinoin and I'm suffering from flaky skin. Should I still use my azelaic acid and niacinamide now that I have the NIOD modulating glucosides? So first of all, the modulating glucosides is great to use alongside Tretinoin. It will really help. I still think use the azelaic acid. The niacinamide might be adding to the flaking, if I'm honest. So maybe I'd knock the niacinamide on the head, but keep with the azelaic acid, which will help to offset some of the sensitivity from the tretinoin. Megan says, I've got to go, but I'll be back to watch the replay. Megan, if you're watching on replay, I'm sending you so much love. Jenny says, Rob, try the Round Lab Birch Juice Moisturiser or the Mugwort Moisturiser. Both are fantastic. Now, Jenny is my #1 feeder of my skincare addiction. And I'm loving Round Lab at the moment. Their Birch Juice SPF, one of my new holy grails, so definitely want to try out their moisturiser. And I love Mugwort. I'm a big fan of Mugwort. I still think they should rename it. Not a sexy name, but I'll give those a try. Thank you so much, Jenny. We've got a call out for the Aloe Propolis Soothing Gel by Benton. Again, I think Korea is where it's at when it comes to gel moisturisers. Yeah, Tom raises a really good question. You only have to ask your question once. I'll work from the top down. So yeah, guys, if I haven't got around to your question, like I said, we've got plenty of time to keep chatting and sharing some of the questions. So just keep them coming in. We've got Rose Game says, what are your thoughts on PPG, PEG in products? I don't personally mind it. I think people get, I think we get a lot of issues, we get almost fixated on some of the ingredients in skincare. Most ingredients are fine. I think a lot of the problems, as we saw from the recent sunscreen scandal, is the ingredients that are in there but not advertised on the ingredients list. If a product's on the ingredients list, it means it's been approved by the regulator for use. It might not be the best ingredient out there, but it's not going to be as harmful as something that's in there without us knowing, which is what we found with the benzene scandal with sunscreen recently. So I actually don't have a problem with either of those ingredients. Manid said, it's ugly and raining here in New York. Well, I could send you some of the sun that we're getting here in the UK, I promise. Richard Chowdhury says, hi Rob, updates about your skincare brand. Richard, thank you so much. Lovely to see you, my love. So we've already talked about it launching for pre-order on the 1st of August, launching officially on the 10th of August. I have now put in the quantities. They're locked in, done, agreed, paid for. Terrifying. The amount of money I had to splurge on that was a little bit like heart in the mouth, but it's all good. It's all part of the journey. It was so liberating when I ordered the products. In terms of some of the things that I think have to go right for us to be able to launch on time. So the website's in design, which is super exciting. I am working with the shipping team. Sounds like I've got my own team, but the guys that are helping, the company that are helping with the shipping, to make sure that runs smoothly and we can sell to as many countries as possible, which I think we're on track to do. I just think the main thing is finding the final tweaks that need to happen. So for example, we've ordered some packing peanuts. I hate packing peanuts. They are so bad for the environment. And so we've ordered some ones made out of cornstarch that disappear when you add water to them. So literally totally biodegradable. You can put them in your compost, you can run water on them, disappear. Totally environmentally friendly, and they need to come on time. So there's a few things like that has to happen on time. We've spent a lot of time working out reusable packaging. That has to be delivered on time. So there's lots of things that all just have to happen. But I'm confident. I think positive thoughts, it will happen. And honestly, I just can't wait. I've got a video coming in 2 weeks' time where I'm going to do the unveiling of the products to share with you. So hopefully you guys will be around for that. Julia says, it's raining here. I'm sorry. It normally rains here in the UK, to be fair. I'm sorry that we're enjoying the sun. For once. You can't begrudge it for once. Cheryl says, how to effectively treat age spots and hyperpigmentation for deeper skin tones. I would honestly recommend people go gentle at the first, particularly if you've got a really deep skin tone. You don't want rebound hyperpigmentation, which is where you actually make the situation worse, which is one of the main reasons I never recommended hydroquinone, because you could get that rebound pigmentation. Start something gentle. Start with a tranexamic acid and an azelaic acid in lower concentrations, like 5%. Both of those are great for people with the darkest, deepest, richest skin tones and will add so much benefit to your routine. Exfoliation is key, but go for, again, lower strengths. So something like a mandelic acid in a low strength, great for people that have darker skin tones, and just go very gentle. I'd like to see pigmentation and age dark spots as a journey. You're not going to get rid of them overnight, so see it as a journey. It took me 12 months to get hold of my hyperpigmentation and actually see the reduction in and get my confidence back, but I'm okay with that because it was improvement every single day, which is kind of makes it feel really good when you see it going through that. Christy says, Rob, update. The Biossance sunscreen turned me into a total grease slick for the first half of the day. It might be too greasy for your skin type. Oh, thank you. I said that you'll share it on the Facebook group, which I really appreciate. I love to hear your feedback on the products you try, even if I have never tried it before, because that's really useful. Because I was going to try the Biossance sunscreen, but I'm obviously, if it's going to be greasy for you, it's not going to work on my greasy skin, which is fine. I'm fine with that. I'll just look for an alternative. Now, we've got plenty of time to keep going through with these questions, but if you want me to keep going, I need to see those likes coming in. So if you haven't already, click that like button, and you can minimize the chat, click the like button, and then maximize it again. But I'm going to carry on answering all your questions after having a sip of water. We're going to keep going till the water's gone, until I lose my voice. So if you've got any questions that you want to add, just drop them in the chat, and I promise I'll get round to you. We are quite far behind, but I'm going to do my best to catch up. And thank you so much to everyone that has hit that like button. Honestly, it means the world to me. Let's see, I'm going to pick out some of the common questions that we start to see come through here, so I can answer them for the multiple people. Can you mix lactic acid with retinol? Yes. A lot of people say you shouldn't mix your exfoliators and your retinol, because retinol is an exfoliator as well. I do agree with that, but you can use lactic acid in the morning, retinol in the evening. Beautiful, and will just help to get rid of some of that dead skin that you can get with retinol. Andrew says, hey, completely lost track of time and almost missed this. Andrea, I'm so glad that you've joined, my love. You say, have you used the unseen sunscreen? Not sure how I can apply 2 fingers because it's so silicone-y. Yeah, I think that would be my criticism of the unseen sunscreen. I love it, and I think it feels and looks great on the skin, but it's quite hard to use a significant amount of it because it is a little bit silicone-y. But honestly, I find it works so well for me, and they have released their testing, so you know that you're getting a good product. I've got a cat hair, I apologise for that, but I do really like the product. I also really love their zinc screen. That's like my new favourite from Supergoop. Manise says, I don't have static wrinkles yet, but I think the dynamic lines on my foreheads are getting deeper. Should I get the Azure Line solution or the Snap 8? Both would work, but I actually think Azure Line solution by The Ordinary is probably my go-to, and it does help just target those fine lines caused by movement in the skin. I'm talking about like the laughter lines, the forehead lines. It will really help with that. So yeah, I think that's a great product that you could go for. Phoenix says, what is the best way to use Neod Repigment? I use it once a day in the morning after I've used my exfoliator, and then I put my other serums on top. You can use it if you want to be a bit sparing. You don't have to use it every single day, but I find you get the best results by doing that. And I'd recommend that you just target the areas of hyperpigmentation, because you know it's a bougie product. You don't want to slap it all over the skin. Target the areas where you do have that hyperpigmentation. Chest hair is better than no chest hair. Well, my one chest hair living its best life. Hasn't got a friend to join it yet, but you know what? Living its best life. Alo says, oh, France, I bought the From Mugwort Essence and I love it. I am loving the From Mugwort Essence as well. So good. Let's see. Moom says, yeah, I just watched season 2 special. I like it. Wow, I'm behind with these comments. But it's such a good... I was addicted. I was so addicted. Jennifer says, especially so good. As a disabled queer person, I just relate to it so much. Yeah, do you know what? It's so... Obviously, you know, I don't have a disability, so I couldn't relate to that element. But it did it in such a way that it was like... It kind of made me understand things, and I think we should all be, you know, have that empathy, but it's easier said than done when people say, oh, I totally understand, and you think, do you? When you see someone living just their authentic self on a program like that, I was just like, wow, it kind of just opened my eyes to some of the things that I can maybe change a little bit in the way I approach things to just kind of make it a little bit easier for, you know, people that are living a different life to me. And honestly, I totally recommend it. I loved that program so much. Let's see. Sherry says, what do you think of slugging? I use Aquaphor. I have very dry skin and I live in Las Vegas, the desert. So I hate slugging, but that's because I've got greasy, acne-prone skin. If you have dry skin and you live in a very desert-like climate, it can help prevent transepidermal water loss. And I'd say if it works for you, be my guest. If it works for you, works for you. I would definitely not recommend people smear like Aquaphor or Vaseline on their skin if they have breakout prone skin. It'll be too much and it'll just exacerbate any acne that you have. So I definitely won't recommend that. But for people like yourself, Sherry, that says that you have dry skin, you live in a very desert-like climate, I think it could really work for you. Suzanne, welcome, my love. So good to see you. Suzanne says, my man is away for the weekend. It's trying to treat myself to some calming skincare. Oat cleansing balm, face massage, and I'm from Honey Mask. Oh, Suzanne, you're preaching to the converted here, because I love to do my oat cleansing bath. So in summer, I don't use the oat cleansing balm because I find it too rich. I use a gel cleanser in summer, and then I use my oat cleansing balm by the Inculist as my holy grail in winter, and I really miss it. And so what I did it for the first time the other day. I just use it as like a massage tool and then wash it off with the double cleanse. So good. I get all the benefits of it, but I still don't have to use it as my main cleanser, which is a little bit thick for me in summer. So yeah, facial massage with the oat cleansing balm, so good. Prima says, retinol and peptide, can you mix? Yes. It used to be the case that you couldn't, but now absolutely you can. Just retinol products have changed. They're not in a low pH anymore. Let's have a look. Suzanne says, which peptide products are your favourite acne-prone skin? I use the buffering copper peptides by The Ordinary. I wonder if there's a better one. I love the Medicate not crystal retinol, the Medicate liquid peptides, I think it's called. That's my absolute favourite for oily and acne prone skin. It isn't cheap, just putting it out there. It isn't cheap, but it's so good, and honestly it just helps to hydrate so much, but it's that hydration that doesn't feel oily. I love it. Bit on the pricey side though, so it's one of those things. If you can get a sample, because sometimes when you go into department stores they'll give you a sample of Medicate. If you can get a sample, their samples are quite generous and lasts a week, so you get to really try the product, which I love. Ivan says, do you all find that the mugwort essence helps soothe acne at all? Yeah, I think with mugwort, it helps calm and soothe acne. I don't think it treats acne as such, but it helps calm and soothe and remove the redness from it, which, let's be honest, has to be a good thing. Let's see, Alison says, has anyone tried the fig essence from I'm From? I haven't tried much from I'm From, to be honest. I need to, because people say how good a product line it is, so I definitely need to, but I haven't actually tried it yet. So Suzanne says, I will bathe in it if I could. Yeah, I know, I love it. Ola says, what is your... I knew how to pronounce this. This is an Irish name. Orlath, and it's not pronounced that. I'm so sorry. I did know I had a friend that I used to work with that had the same spelling of a name, and I can't remember how to pronounce it, so I do apologise, my love. What is your top 3 products that you suggest from The Ordinary? Oh, my top 3 products from The Ordinary. Azure solution, literally a no-brainer, has to be in your skincare routine. So good for dynamic fine lines and wrinkles. I really like the Square Lane cleanser. I know it's so boring, but you know what? It's just a really nice cleanser. The Ascorba Tetra Isopalmitate solution in vitamin F, which is my go-to vitamin C derivative. Love it. Let's see what some other questions. Now, I'm going to go for another 10-15 minutes, so don't worry. What I did want to get for you guys is, there's so many questions that unfortunately I haven't got round to. I'm sorry, I'm so behind with the questions. If I didn't get round to your question, just drop it in the comments section below. Just literally cut and paste it in the proper comments section, and I always go back afterwards and answer all the comments that people go through, so you'll get your questions answered there. If you haven't hit the like button already, this is your last chance, and what I'm going to do is just go throw out a few things to ask you guys and go through some of the most recent questions, if that's okay. I was just going to say, in terms of these lives, what are our thoughts? Do we like a video after the live, or does that make it too time pressured? And do we just want to, have the video in the day and then the live is its own separate thing? Let me know what your thoughts and feelings are on that. I think my initial thought is it's been quite nice that there isn't that time pressure. I can just sit and chill with you guys, because I always look forward to these lives. And then in terms of the days, we've done a few on Sunday, which has worked well for some people. Do we think Sunday works? Do we like Saturday? Thoughts and feelings. Anyway, share them in the comment section below. Last few questions. Have you used the Derma E Vitamin C Concentrated Serum? Thanks, Heather. Yes, I have. I love Derma E. I think Derma E are a fantastic brand, and they did really well in the recent sunscreen testing. Benzene free, also verified their SPF. Such a good brand. I love Derma E. Definitely would recommend it. Let's have a lot of people saying they like the earlier video than the live. I kind of think, I think this is kind of where it's going. I just like to be able to sit and chill with you without the time pressure, if that makes sense. We've got a couple more questions I'll get through before we draw the live to a close, which is I've watched your video regarding the retinol from the Inculist. Do you still use it, or are you using another brand? Joe, such a great question. I still use it. I use adapalene because it's the best prescription strength one for tackling acne. The only reason is because I still have adult acne, but on the days where I feel a bit sensitive, I use the Inculist retinol as a low strength version, so I don't miss out on my retinol fix that night, and it works so well for me. So I honestly would totally recommend the Inculus Retinol as a starter retinol, a mid-strength retinol. Such a great product. Ivan says, I have to head out, but thanks for answering my questions. I hope everyone has a lovely day. Sending lots and lots of love. Ivan, I hope you have the most wonderful weekend. Let's see. I'm going to pick out one more question to end on. Let's see if we find a good one. Caitlin, lovely to see you, my love. Thank you so much for joining. Lovely to see you there. Shweta, welcome. Sending lots of love from India, my love. Oh, let's have a look. So Emily says, last question, loving the lives. Thank you so much, my love. Do you know if there's a way for those of us in the States to get the Neod Survival 30? I do. You can order it from a third-party reseller. I think it's Beauty Bay. That you can buy it from. You can't order it direct from Neod or from the ordinary Decima, sorry, but you can get it. I think it's from Beauty Bay. So definitely would recommend you check it out. So good, and you can get it shipped to you in the US. Do not worry. Oh, that's really good. Anita says, I do have cruelty-free dupes from your former favourite tested on animals products. That's a really great question. So yeah, I will definitely do that video. So guys, that's it for the live for today. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you haven't already, it's not too late to hit that like button. We're 140 likes, which is still amazing. Thank you so much. It's just off our record, which I think is 160 was our absolute record. But this has been officially the busiest live we have ever had. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for everyone that's joined. There's a video I did today on the Cicaplast Balm by La Roche-Posay. Lots of people worried it's discontinued, there might be a problem with the product, so definitely check that out if you haven't seen that video already. Definitely worth, it's only 5 minutes long, definitely worth checking out. And just from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everyone that's joined. Irene says, don't go, I've just joined. Irene, my love, I'm so sorry. I've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes. I've literally lost my voice. I'm so sorry, but we do them every week, and I'd love to chat to you. Lots of people saying they really like to have a Saturday live, so we'll do an official poll on it. But I think the consensus is without the video after. I like the video after, but I always think it's kind of like we've had a chat for an hour and a half, and you feel like you have to watch a video. I don't know. I'll give it some thought. But thank you so much for sitting with me today, and I'm sending wherever you are in the world, guys. I'm sending you so much love, and thank you for spending your Saturday with me. I love you all to the moon and back. Let's have a wonderful weekend, and if you're here in the UK, have a wonderful long bank holiday. Take care. Bye.